Old schoolers rejoice. You got a couple double dips there in the Northeast because of the Mother Nature yesterday. Going to get 2 in Beantown and get 2 in the Boogie Down for the Yankees and the Pirates and Jensen. Last we saw, these two teams were almost at each other's throats. So maybe it could be heated today for 2 in the Boogie Down.
Well, I hope it's not heated offensively, at least in game one. Let's start with the under 9.5 in game one of this day-night double dip. It will be Mitch Keller and Garrett Cole, the scheduled starters here. I played the under at, I'll find this price here for you real quickly. I played the under at minus $1.13. You can find a little bit more of a price point on Novig, which is where I got the best of the number. But bottom line, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here, Dave, because Mitch Keller, in his career, a couple of starts at Yankee Stadium, it's not been good. Over a 10 ERA. The start last year, he was here at 3 2/3, and then a couple of years ago. So I don't want to go back too far. What I do want to harp on is that this is still a Yankee offense without Aaron Judge. Yes, Jazz Chisholm has come on here the last couple of days, but boy, I just don't see a ton of resistance offensively from the Yankee offense. And to that end, it's a tough assignment for Garrett Cole going up against one of the highest scoring teams in all of baseball. But I think he's got it locked back in. Traditionally, a guy in day games that really pitches well. And so I'll take a shot on the under 9.5 here, minus $1.13.
Just very quickly before we get to some of these other games, and I mentioned the getting hot under the collar a little bit and pitchers talking to hitters or walking down the line, that sort of thing. Is there a carryover effect? Because back in the old days, sometimes you could issue that code red the next time you step in the box. Are those days done, Jensen?
It won't happen today because of the double dip. You can't afford to lose guys, ejections, things of that nature. So I would be shocked if we have anything happen in either contest unless rules of engagement do apply here. Do not fire until fired upon.
Love the rules of engagement. Let's get to a little bit more that you have here. Let's talk about the other team. And I know everybody's talking about the Red Sox right now. Of course, they had the day off because of the weather. Orioles with that double dip. You're looking at game 2 more so than game 1 so far?
Yeah, let's go with the Orioles on the money line. Not a scheduled starter announced yet for the Boston Red Sox, but I just like the way Kyle Bradish has been pitching here as of late. If you go back to June 17th, covering his last 5 starts, it's a 2.12 ERA, but the 2.52 field independent pitching. Now, for those that don't know what FIP is, this measures a pitcher's effectiveness at preventing homers, walks, hit by pitches, and causing strikeouts. So it's a little bit more of a true indicator, regardless of ballpark, of how effective a pitcher has been. So I love that those real ERA and field independent pitching numbers over the last 5 starts have been so close together. He's only given up 19 hits in 34 innings pitched in those 5 starts. So I like the matchup. It's going to be that night game, so we already have maybe some tired legs and having to wait around a little bit to play the nightcap. So I do like the Orioles in game 2. Plus $1.25 is what I found at Novig. Some of the prediction markets have a little bit better price point. That's where I like the value in game 2 later on tonight.
I was so pleasantly surprised, and I mentioned this to you and Will Hill yesterday in our baseball group text about Zach Thornton for the Metropolitans. And maybe, in the fire that is this dismal brush fire here of a Mets baseball season, we're starting to find some guys that might be players in the future. I think they found one in Christian Scott. He's going to take the bump here today. Remember when he came up and a lot of walks that he was having? Jensen looks like he's kind of curbing that and starting to realize he's got good enough stuff to challenge guys. And the Mets actually looked like a Major League Baseball team yesterday. It was just so fun to watch for one day. Can they continue that and get better pitching and defense and maybe minimize that Brewer attack?
Oh, he has been spectacular, Dave. How about 0 runs allowed in 3 of his last 4 road games started? Now, very tough task this afternoon at American Family Field going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. But I think that trend continues. And I do like the guy on the other side, young Logan Henderson, great young right-hander. The Brewers have really leaned on with Brandon Woodruff going down with injuries this year. He's made 3 home starts so far this year, Logan Henderson has. All 3 of those home starts, Dave, he's allowed 2 runs or fewer. So we're going to get to an under 8. There are 7.5s out there right now. I wanted to have a little bit of cushion here. You know, I hate getting beat by the hooks, so we'll buy up a little bit. A flat 8. We'll play the under 8 at minus $1.33 on DraftKings. Just 2 guys that are really rolling well here in those situational circumstances. Let's see if we get a lot of run prevention early and often in Milwaukee.
Twins, kind of talked about them a little bit and whether or not this stretch is going to determine whether or not they're going to be buyers or sellers. It hadn't gone well the last couple of days here against the Guardians. What about today's matchup here? Can they get back on the good foot finally?
Yeah, I was texting Adam Burke last night. The Guardians are the biggest smoke and mirrors team offensively I have seen over the last couple of years. I still don't understand how they're getting some of these done. Well, let's take a guy who in his last couple of starts has actually looked the part. That's Bailey Ober, who will get the ball for the Minnesota Twins. 2.61 ERA, last 2 starts, Dave. Just 8 hits allowed and 10 in the third, but he struck out 12 while only walking 3. So the matchup there, I feel, can limit a really opportunistic Guardian offense. Now, they have hit a lot of homers. I mentioned the 6 homers just a couple of days ago against Joe Ryan, just things that you just don't understand how happen, much less 5 of those 6 coming from guys who have a batting average of 200 or below. Slate Ciccone on the other side here today, Dave, and he's actually been one of the better and more consistent starters behind Gavin Williams. What Parker Messick has been doing, another great outing from Parker Messick yesterday. Actually, Slate Ciccone, kind of going in the opposite direction that Bailey Ober is. Last 2 starts, it's an 8.31 ERA, 8 earned runs and 8 2/3, but 15 hits allowed. So let's take kind of 2 guys going in opposite directions. I'll back the Minnesota Twins to finally be able to get on the board in this series. I like them on the money line, plus $1.11 here at Progressive Field later on tonight.
Rays and Jays, we've talked a lot about the Jays here in the last couple of days, and we feel like they are toast. And I know you and I are kind of writing them off at this juncture. Rays, man, every day it feels like, are they the best team in the American League? You can make that debate. What about today? Because, again, really tight numbers, just like they were yesterday. $1.05 here to the Rays side, $1.07 to the Jays. That total, is that something you're looking to attack?
Yes, definitely. And looking at the pitching matchup here, Griffin Jacks, who has been awesome for the Rays in their rotation. Braden Fisher going to be the opener today for the Toronto Blue Jays. If you look at the Jays offense, and just kind of since, I think it's the last week of June. Yeah, June 23rd. You look at them averaging just 3.5 runs scored, but the majority of those, Dave, they have had a real tough time being able to put up some crooked numbers here. And as of late, you would have to believe that the way the Rays are just kind of decimating people on the pitching side, that continues to be the case. So I do like where the Rays are, but particularly, the Blue Jays have had opportunities to limit some scoring. It may not happen. The Rays may have to do it all themselves to get to an under, but I do like the under 8.5. There are 8s out there for Rogers Center tonight, but under 8.5 minus $1.25 at Novig, best price I found for this game later on tonight.
Get me a win for the Fighting Fish. It's starting to get dicey here. Every passing day, it's another loss. And you start to those good vibes we had for the Marlins. I'm not saying they're going away, Jensen, but at some point, you know what this is like. You're just desperate for a win, and they can't seem to get one. Not scoring enough runs here recently. Do you think that trend continues down there in H-Town?
Could be run suppression on both sides here. Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins, a 2.14 ERA in his last 3 starts, 23 strikeouts in 21 innings. And Peter Lambert has actually been a real nice boost to a rotation that has had their own problems with the injury bug. His last 3 starts have been spectacular as well. How about a 1.02 ERA for Peter Lambert, his last 17 2/3, 23 strikeouts, only 9 hits allowed. Offense at a premium tonight for 2 guys going in really, really good directions here. Let's play the under 8.5 minus $1.26. Found that on Novig. Last game on the slate tonight, Dave, an 8-10 start. No West Coast games, at least in the later hours, so you can get early to bed tonight after watching some night baseball.
No chance to get that rain out in that dome there in H-Town. I think that's what the Marlins could use right now, maybe as a day off. They need what the Red Sox got yesterday, and the Red Sox didn't even need it.